After a 5-month search, Spokane now has a new police chief.
He understands that law enforcement cannot solve all of our problems on their own.
Who he is and what members of the selection committee are saying about why he was chosen.
Once again, temperatures soared into the 90s today. Will it get any cooler as we head into the weekend? I'll have a look at your forecast next.
Last week's heat was definitely a little bit more than what we usually get this early in July.
Summer kicked into high gear this week with 3 consecutive days of record heat. So how is that impacting local crops in places like Green Bluff? Tonight, we found out. Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where we give you more news in less time. Let's get started, and we kick things off by taking a live look at downtown Spokane tonight. Our excessive heat warning officially expired last night, but we are still expecting a warm weekend with temperatures in the upper 90s. Let's get right to meteorologist Tom Sherry on this Friday Eve tonight with more details about the weather. Tom?
I love that, a Friday Eve. We should just declare it a 3-day weekend now. Talking about temperatures finally cooling down to actually be kind of comfortable outside right now. Look at Spirit Lake at 64 degrees. You folks up there, turn off the AC, open up the windows, let Mother Nature cool you down. We're at 74 out in the Spokane Valley, 79 in Coeur d'Alene. Head down towards Cheney and Spangle, temperatures there in the upper 60s. Take a look at the 6 to 10-day temperature outlook. So this takes us July 17th through the 21st. You can see we're looking at above average temperatures still in the forecast across the Pacific Northwest, and then below average precipitation also taking us through pretty much the end of the month. And we've got hot weather to talk about. 98 tomorrow and again Saturday. We'll look for sunny and hot weather again on Sunday, 97. I'll check that all-important 10-day forecast. That's coming up in just about 10 minutes.
All right, we'll talk to you then, Tom. Thank you very much. New tonight, these high temperatures are causing water use in Coeur d'Alene to skyrocket. According to the superintendent of the city's water department, CDA pumped 30 million gallons of water each day last week. He expects that amount to shoot up to 40 million, but the city can only pump 42 million gallons per day. So the city is encouraging people to conserve water while temperatures remain high. And as we have just experienced that record heat, at least one farm is thankful for how hot it's been recently, especially considering some of the setbacks their crops saw in December. KREM 2's Connor McAvoy joining us live at Beck's Harvest House in Green Bluff with more. Connor?
Beck's Harvest House is a produce market and farm here in the heart of Green Bluff. And the owner tells me while he and his staff are doing their best to beat the heat when it gets to be a little bit too much, they couldn't be more thankful for it. Todd Beck and his family have owned Beck's Harvest House for 37 years.
What we do, we call agritourism or entertainment farming, which means we're agriculturally based, and the foundation of what we do is agriculture and the products that we grow and what we do.
Tourism, combined with their farming, came in handy this past year as a deep freeze in December wiped out all their peaches and cherries they grew on the farm.
If all I had to offer the consumer was just the stuff I grew in the field, I lost that much of my crop in 1 year, it would be devastating to us.
Beck says it wasn't the negative temperatures necessarily that played a factor as much as it was timing.
In that early one in December, there was still sap and everything growing up in the trees. So it hit so hard, so quick that the tree wasn't ready for it, and that's what killed our peaches and our cherries.
While it's a hit Beck says is still being felt by his business, one positive he says this summer season are the warmer temperatures. Even those in the triple digits help make up for lost time.
We didn't have a lot of consistent heat in early June, so that kind of started the strawberries and the raspberries off a little slower than what normally we would have in a season. So the little bit of the boost of heat kind of gave a little punch into the berries and really got them ripe. And like the raspberries now, they're coming off are great. They're juicy, they're sweet, they're ready to roll.
Ready to roll alongside the heat he's used to.
Last week's heat was definitely a little bit more than what we usually get this early in July. But we're in Spokane. We're used to having hot weather. That's part of the great things about living in Spokane is we get nice hot summer days and we get great snowy days in the winter and we get everything in between.
Enjoying what the weather brings his farm now, knowing it's always able to change. Beck also says he's glad those triple-digit temperatures aren't sticking around too long. Too much of that can cause the trees to be a little too tense and get overexhausted over time and overheated. In Green Bluff, Connor McAvoy, KREM 2 News.
All right, Connor, thank you very much. Well, just hours ago, President Joe Biden addressed the nation in what was described as one of the most important news conferences of his career. He addressed his fitness for office, saying in no uncertain terms that he will run for re-election in the fall. Our CBS News correspondent has the latest page in the ongoing debate saga coming up in less than 10 minutes. We have new details tonight on a crash that closed roads out in Airway Heights this morning. A man involved in the crash reportedly died from his injuries. According to Airway Heights police, officers responded to a call for a vehicle versus pedestrian crash at Hayford Road and 9th Avenue. When they arrived at the scene just after 10 this morning, police say they found a 64-year-old man and 61-year-old woman with serious injuries. Both were taken to the hospital where the man later died. The woman is still in critical condition. The exact circumstances of this crash are not known to us right now. We will update you as soon as we learn more. And now to our night beat with a quick look at today's top stories. Spokane Mayor Lisa Brown announcing the next chief of police. Kevin Hall, currently with the Tucson Police Department, will take over the role. Hall has worked at that department for more than 30 years, most recently as assistant chief. Maggie Yates, who headed the chief search committee, says he brings broad policing experience and commendations on his approach to public safety. She also says he embraces community involvement.
He understands that law enforcement cannot solve all of our problems on their own, and that it's really collaboration and problem solving and systems thinking that is going to move the needle.
We did reach out to the Tucson Police Department to speak with Hall, but he was on vacation and not available. But the public information officer there said that Spokane is gaining a great partner in hiring Hall, who will bring vast experience, innovation, and passion for the job. The Spokane woman accused of killing her ex-boyfriend at his home in Meade in April will remain behind bars. Cynthia Khalil asked a judge to set a bond and to remove the no-contact order with her daughter. Khalil faces multiple charges, including first-degree murder. She's accused of killing her ex-boyfriend, Justin Daniel, who she shares a daughter with. Court documents show at the time of his death, they were involved in a custody battle. Khalil's attorney argued that she has no criminal convictions and should be allowed a bond. The family of Daniel told the judge they believe Khalil is dangerous and that her daughter doesn't want to see her.
Please hear me on this. Not one day of 87 days, not one, has she asked for her mommy.
She is a danger to her children. She's a danger to the family. She's a danger to this community, and she's a danger to anyone that stands between her and AD.
The judge denied Khalil's request for a bond and to remove her no-contact order. Her trial is expected to start at the end of next month. A Spokane bank manager will spend the next 2 years in prison after stealing more than $345,000. According to the U.S. Attorney's Office for Eastern Washington, 28-year-old Jessica Ann Marshall stole the money from the Bank of Idaho's downtown Spokane branch. The attorney's office says Marshall used her position to embezzle the money from the bank vault, ATM, and her cash drawer. Marshall must now pay the Bank of Idaho that money she stole back. Today, the union that represents grocery store workers in Washington came together to push back against the merging of Kroger and Albertsons. 124 grocery stores could be sold if the two companies merge, including 2 in Spokane. But the Federal Trade Commission and several states, including Washington, are suing to block it. The union shared their concerns today, saying multiple resources for the community would be impacted by the merger.
This mega merger will negatively impact retail workers, small suppliers, independent chains, and communities already facing challenges with food and medication access.
Kroger and Albertsons own more than 50% of the grocery stores in the state of Washington. And that was your Night Beat. To learn more about any of these stories, just head to our website. That's KREM.com. Cutting-edge technology to remove PFAS, or forever chemicals, from fire trucks is breaking ground right here in Washington. PFAS were commonly found in firefighting foam before the state passed a law restricting it back in 2018. Now the Port of Seattle is starting the process of cleaning out city fire trucks so PFAS-free foam can be used. Fire officials say it's taken decades to get to this point, and while there is still work to be done, there is a big reason why this needs to be done.
It's everything. Firefighter safety is my #1 priority. Getting rid of something that's potentially carcinogenic and causing harm to my firefighters. We have 3 firefighters that have retired and have had, through exposures in the way we worked with fighting fires back in the early days, had developed pancreatic cancer. So we can't definitively say it was this, but we can't say it's not.
The fire chief says this process is important because just swapping out the foam won't get rid of residual PFAS. That cleaning process is paving the way for a fresh start. And that was your KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where you get more news in less time. But don't go to bed yet. Spokane legend Steve Gleason was honored at the ESPY Awards tonight. Hear his moving speech coming up in 10 minutes.
I'm not in this for my legacy. I'm in this to complete the job I started.
But first, President Joe Biden coming to his own defense today at a critical news conference. What it means as his re-election efforts continue.